But we could talk about great news on Tuesday. Guess what? If you occupy states and cities with the military, if you deploy massed thugs, troops across the country, if you starve children through blocking SNAP benefits, if you do everything you can, tariffs, which drive disarray across our economy, turns out that's really unpopular. Turns out the American people don't like that stuff. If you crack down on free speech, tell people they're not allowed to protest or they're not allowed to say certain things about overseas countries that we might support as they enact wholesale human slaughter, or if you say the wrong thing online after the death of a podcaster or whatever, we're going to come after you. Remember they were threatening anyone to the left of MAGA after Charlie Kirk was assassinated. Anybody to the left of MAGA, we're coming for you, was the message. They were so upset and threatened by that a lone wolf gunman didn't go after a school of school children, didn't go after a church of people of color, didn't go after people of color at a grocery store, which we've seen right-wing extremists do again and again and again and again and again in our country, because we have so many guns available to for the most awful people you can imagine to pick up. Once it came for one of their own, then it was, okay, we're going to come after you. We're going to, everyone to the left is a domestic terrorist. Stephen Miller, guess what? Stephen Miller grosses more people out than he attracts. Every time he gets on cable news and runs his Goebbels mouth, his Goebbels style rhetoric, people don't like that. So on Tuesday, we had a spate of elections across the country. In California, we had Proposition 50. Now, let's talk about Prop 50. If you're in the chat and you voted for Prop 50, let me know. I know I did. If you're somewhere else, just let me know. Drop a comment. Please like the stream. It'll help people see it. But I voted for Prop 50. And it's funny. I was criticizing Democrats earlier. I don't like Gavin Newsom. And people were wondering why I would support Gavin Newsom, or I would support Prop 50, but not Gavin Newsom. I don't love Gavin Newsom. And, I want to be real about Prop 50. Prop 50 is a defensive position. What was Proposition 50? Proposition 50 here in California, it passed. Congratulations, everybody. Is a temporary shifting of, we have an independent redistricting committee for our U.S. House of Representative districts in Congress. And Prop 50 moved the power back to the state legislature. It used to be in the power of the state legislature. Years ago, Californians voted to have independent redistricting because we believe in fairness. Tens of millions of Californians believe gerrymandering is wrong. But Texas came out because Trump declared, I need you to redistrict. They're gonna, he knows how unpopular, they know how unpopular Republicans, how unpopular their policies are and how unpopular their approach is. They know. And so what's their answer? We're gonna gerrymander red states even more so than they already are. And what's the result? Texas, Missouri, I think it's South Carolina. I could be misremembering a few of them, but multiple red states where they have control of the legislature have begun partisan gerrymandering, where they're chopping up. Maybe there's 2 blue or 3 blue districts in these states, and they're chopping those up with areas that are heavily Republican. And so California said, "Okay, tit for tat, we will respond in kind." And Prop 50 proposed a specific map that was proposed by the state legislature. So it returned power from the hands of the Independent Redistricting Committee temporarily back to the state legislature for this new map. That's only undoes what Texas did. Let's be real. And then it's going to go back for the next census in 2030. It's going to go back to the Independent Redistricting Committee. So some people, were acting like they're little baby birds that just popped out of an egg, and why would California do such a thing? Why would California? I thought we cared about democracy. Completely ignoring what was going on in these red states and that this was a response. F around and find out, right? Looks like I got 6 of you watching now, 5 on YouTube. This is fantastic. I love you. You're beautiful people. We love you. You're fantastic. Thank you. Please like the stream. Drop a comment. What are you thinking? What do you want to hear about? What are you pissed about? Did you vote? What did you vote for? What state are you in? We had fantastic news out of multiple states. Mississippi's supermajority was broken because, again, it's very unpopular what Republican policies. People forget. We have amnesia in this country. People forget how bad Republicans are for the economy, how authoritarian and hateful a lot of their policies are towards Americans who don't fit in a certain exact mold, right? And people responded to that. In Virginia and New Jersey, the governorship flipped or was won by Democrats. I'm not a huge fan of all of these politicians. Abigail Spanberger, for instance, is a CIA agent, a Democrat, who she was a Democrat in the Congress for some years. This is after being CIA. I'm on the left. I'm a progressive left. I'm a leftist. Don't like the CIA. I don't know why if that's still a controversial position, but we don't like the CIA, guys. Central Intelligence Agency. We don't like them. They're very bad. Mass graves across the world filled because of the machinations of the CIA. So, if you want to get an idea of centrist politics and centrist media, the Washington Post literally said in like the opening lead of her winning, Abigail Spanberger, known for her career, or balancing her career as a spy and a mother of 3, this Democrat went on to win the governorship. So that is the kind of soft gloves that are that are handled for a centrist pro-empire Democrat. Okay, so let's just be real. But we all know the best news from Tuesday is the election of Zohran Mamdani, the new New York mayor-elect. Fantastic news. Ran on an unapologetic platform of democratic socialism. Let's work on. Oh, I'm sorry. The government should tax wealthy people, redistribute that wealth to benefit the common good, the general welfare. That's only like the definition of government. That's only in the preamble of our Constitution. New York for so many years now has just been the playground of the wealthy elite. Like they didn't want anyone else living there. They made it more and more expensive for regular people, working people, to live in the city. And along came Zohran Mamdani. It's also very significant. I mentioned about this local. We had this local in nearby me here in California. We had this local district attorney who, just blatantly racist and Islamophobic about the victory of Zohran Mamdani. He basically brought up 9/11, put frickin' 9/11 in his mouth about a Muslim man, the first Muslim, who was a child when 9/11 happened, the first Muslim mayor of New York City. And it's worth remembering that, like, the left and the Democratic Party gets accused of identity politics a lot. There's nobody who does identity politics more than the American right wing, than white Americans who, they really have made it clear. Obviously, Trump is conducting an ethnic cleansing across the country with ICE, but he even threatened to deport Zohran Mamdani if he won. So, I'm really happy that Mamdani won. Again, he ran on this positive message, and Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez made a really good point from his victory party that not only did Mamdani win, and he won with more than 50%. That's what they call a mandate in political speech, right? But he did it by attacking. He didn't. He did it while being under attack by not just Republicans but Democrats. Andrew Cuomo lost the primary. Andrew Cuomo was the Democratic governor. A nepo baby, a child of elite privilege of a very famous New York mayor named Cuomo. And, so he never would have been there if it weren't for, being a wealthy political dynasty, having a totally corrupt brother at CNN, like giving him secret coaching while he was, he was under fire as governor of New York, not just because he sent a bunch of COVID infected people to elderly patient care homes, leading to the preventable deaths of many, many elderly people in New York. But he was assaulting and groping and harassing women who worked under him on the regular, and so just a complete slime ball. But Zohran Mamdani went against the Democratic Party establishment. Couldn't get an endorsement from Hakeem Jeffries until like the last minute. Schumer still doesn't even want to put the guy's name in his mouth. So that tells you a thing or two. It tells you a thing or two about where the Democratic Party actually is. If people say, oh well, New York is a very liberal place, it's it's far left. If you go watch some of the footage from Mamdani's win, literally like I saw a 90-year-old woman who's like, I'm sorry, I have to put my teeth in, and she's like, yes, I've always been a liberal, I've always voted Democrat, but I just love this young man and I love what he stands for. He inspired so many people, and there's one thing I want everybody to take from the Zohran Mamdani win. There was some exit polling done, and they said that 86% of his voters in this exit poll said they were voting for him, not against Cuomo. There were some people who voted for Mamdani because they just didn't want Cuomo to win, but 86% of people voted for him. This is a big disagreement that I see people having around if you like. I've had it with people I know and love, like about what went wrong in 2020 or 2024 rather, how Kamala Harris lost to Donald Trump. You cannot just give people something to vote against. You have to give people something to vote for. You have to stand on moral principle and moral clarity. Harris would not disavow Biden's Israel policy. Wouldn't do it. Wouldn't even just go against him on anything, actually. And more of the same, business as usual. We can't afford this anymore. We can't afford business as usual in this country. It's killing us. It's killing me, right? Like I'm parched here. I need some water.